How about it's Hilda Ffinch, the bird with all the answers?
Hello? Anyone around? Hello, gorgeous. How's my favourite housemaid today?
Hello, Ernie. Keep your voice down. If Mrs. Finch hears you talking like that, she'll have us both on the front page of the Little Hope Herald. She's a bit short of news at the moment, and in the absence of a real scoop, she'll have the pair of us made out to be something that we're not.
Oh, I'd like us to be something, Daisy.
Oh, behave. Get on with you.
You coming to the dance at the church hall on Saturday night?
Maybe, but Fast Eddie at the American Air Base has already asked me. And so has Hank. And I think Joe and Larry are maybe a bit keen too. And Todd and Earl
Oh, never mind them, Daisy. Come with me. I might have flat feet, but I can still dance.
That's as maybe, Ernie, but I do need to be practical. Times are hard.
Oh, I know.
Ern.
Sorry.
And anyway, I don't have any stockings to wear yet.
Well,
nothing. Todd is bringing me some new nylons, and Larry's always good for chocolate, and I'll never get caught out with Hank. He has packets and packets
Bisto.
of... Eh?
I got plenty of Bisto. You know, under the counter. Everyone puts it on their legs these days. You can even choose the shade you want. You know, hint of tan, golden tan, heavy tan.
Hint of chicken dinner? No, Ernie. Violet Millington was followed home from the WI by 2 basset hounds and a whippet on account of having gravy on her legs last week. She had to beat them off with her handbag in the church porch. The vicar came out in the end and went for the basset with his cassocks. It was mayhem. The whippet lost a tooth.
Well, what about...
No, Ern, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any gravy browning. Not for you, not for anyone.
All right, Days. But I won't give up. Oh, God. Is that her?
Yep, that's her. Here, pass me your sack. You'd better lighten your load and be gone before she comes out.
Oh, I'm gone. I'd rather face Adolf than get on the wrong side of that one. Here, be careful with it. It's very heavy today. I had trouble getting it on me bike. Caught it in my pedals twice.
Oh, Ern.
Enter!
Postman's just come, Mrs. Finch. He had terrible trouble getting it up the front, but we managed it in the end between us.
Thank you, Daisy. Good show. Put it down before you drop it and crack the parquet. There's a good girl.
Phew.
Excellent. Now, just pass me some letters from the top, would you? And then tootle off and bring me some gin from the drawing room.
Yes, Mrs. Finch. There you go, Mrs. Finch. 4, do you?
Thank you, Daisy.
Ma'am.
Dear Lord, what have we here? What fresh shenanigans is this? This is Amy Armitage. Now then.
Dear Hilda, I have a bit of a ripe problem. My old man, I love him to bits, but between you and me, his feet smell worse than pig slop. Anyways, it wouldn't be so bad, but with all the air raids, we've been going down the shelter, and he will insist on taking his bloomin' boots off. Mrs. Perkins from down our road almost fainted last time round. What can I do to drench the stench? Yours, hopefully, Amy Armitage.
Let me see now.
Dear Mrs. Armitage, oh dear, you are in a pickle, aren't you? If there's one thing worse than an empty gin bottle on his shelf, it is the curse of the honky-hooved husband. I did encounter a similar issue many years ago when stepping out with a young officer in the Horse Guards. Frankly, he smelled like the king's racehorse from the derriere downwards. Balls were a nightmare. There wasn't a string quartet in the entire county of Buckinghamshire would draw a bow within 20 yards of him. After much thought, I applied myself to the task in hand and drilled a series of small holes into the soles of his boots and lined them with shaved mothballs covered in a bombazine pad and a light sprinkling of Grossmith's Fallen Nana fragrance. Instant relief. My foray into the world of olfactory chiropodial alternation was indeed so successful that the aforementioned officer was last seen galloping like Buggery up the Silk Road with 24 Tuareg horsemen on his tail. I suggest you use this example as your blueprint. Should it prove to be problematic, then plan B is to pour gum arabic into your spouse's boots. Apply a little more to the soles and pass them to him when he's seated in the outside privy. Prior to the siren sounding, he'll put them on immediately without a second thought. and we'll be out of your hair and stuck in the best place for the duration of the raid. Yours, Hilda Ffinch, the bird with all the answers. Enter!
Your gin, Mrs. Finch, and a packet of Craven A.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Well done.
Ma'am, cook would like to know what you'd like for lunch.
I won't be here, my dear. I'll be having it with the vicar.
Ma'am.
Lord, that gin's good. Now, letter number 2. One is positively agog to learn what else is going on in this curious place. Let me see. Because Mrs. Agapanthus Crumb.
Dearest Hilda, on visiting your very own dwelling recently, I couldn't help but admire your immaculately trimmed bush. With my man away at war, my bush has become terribly overgrown and is completely out of control. Any bush trimming advice would be most welcome. Yours, Mrs. Agapanthus Crumb.
My dear Agapanthus, many thanks indeed for your recent visit, but more so for the jolly nice cake you trotted up my path with. I know that you appreciated my eating the entire thing in front of you in one sitting. Please don't thank me for doing so. There is a war on after all, and it wouldn't have been terribly rude of me to put your culinary offering to one side, as doing so might have led you to believe that I had given it to the dog later. I did notice you eyeing up my exquisite little bush as you arrived. I can't impress upon you enough the need to retain the services of a substitute topiarist in Mr. C's absence. Whilst the man of the house is away, it is incumbent upon his lady to keep her garden tidy. I myself had my lame gamekeeper, Dick Scratcher, on to give my bush a jolly good seeing to on Tuesday last, after Colonel Finch mentioned that he'd lost both his wristwatch and monocle in there, and that he would require both if he was to carry on giving Jenny a good old bashing when his leave was up. Both items was subsequently retrieved by Dick, and I gave my word to the Colonel that in future I'd keep said bush well pruned and shaped like a tiger's head if at all possible. Should you be unable to find a suitable fellow, do let me know and I'll send Dick round to give you an estimate. He's generally up on a Tuesday. Yours, Hilda Ffinch, the bird with all the answers. Mrs. Finch, I've tried erecting an Anderson shelter in the back garden, but I'm struggling to get it up. Mrs. Risque thinks it may be due to the draft around the back, but I'm not sure. I've managed to get it up outdoors before. August Bank Holiday Monday, Taunton, 1933 to be exact. My wrists are quite weak and I find the screwing particularly difficult. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Please could you give me some advice, or even better, come and give me a hand. Dear Tad Risque, really, I have to say that this is the first time since the war started that I've come across a fellow who wasn't able to get one up in the great outdoors. Look around you. The village is full of men of your age going at it hammer and tongs and displaying some very fine erections indeed. Colonel Finch and Mr. Perry Mountjoy managed 5 between them on Saturday last and might have got another one up if the sun hadn't gone over the yardarm and it was time for tea. Put your back into it, man, for heaven's sake. If you do find tightening your nuts particularly difficult, then I'm more than happy to send my lane gamekeeper Dick Scratch around to give you help with screwing on a Tuesday, assuming he's not still up at Agapantha Crumbs. Battle on and think of England. Never mind the wind round your neck, just get it in the hole and you'll be away. Yours, Hilda Ffinch, the bird with all the answers. Hello, Hilda. I've had a dilemma. I found a puncheon in the back garden. It's had some kind of medallion around its neck with the words Dick and Metal on it. My dilemma is, do I put it on a pie or do I let it go? Times are hard. We're all hungry. What do you advise? Regards, Mr. Ben. Dear Mr. Ben, I wonder, could you double-check it on the side of the medal in question to ascertain whether or not a name, rank and number are inscribed? I ask simply because 2 days before he went back to his regiment, Colonel Finch was rampaging around the house shouting, "Where's my Dickin medals?" at all and sundry. I'm wondering if perchance he left them on the terrace
after getting them out for Lady Shagpile when she called for a spot of tiffin the previous afternoon, and a pigeon misappropriated them. Should it transpire that the gong in question does indeed belong to the Colonel, I'd be most grateful if you'd drop it around at the manor in person rather than entrust it to a postman who has anger management issues with the military trinkets on account of flat feet. Bring the pigeon with you, and cook will give you a good stuffing. Yours, Hilda Ffinch, the bird with all the answers. There, that'll do for today. One suspects that if Herr Hitler does ever make it across the Channel, that exposure to the great British proletariat will soon have him thinking twice about staying. He'll be hot-footing it back to Berlin in no time at all. Mad! They're all mad. Enter!
All done for the day, Mrs. Finch?
I certainly am, Daisy. Ask Thorne to bring the trap around, would you?
Yes, Mrs. Finch. Away to the vicarage?
Yes, indeed. With any luck, the vicar will get his macaroons out, so don't wait up.
If you'd like Hilda to address your problem, please go to mrsfoxgoestowar.co.uk.